Oh, it's hidden, believe me. You run advertisements where you literally put what his words are up on the screen. You allow statements that he's made on video to be played in front of audiences, and they look up from whatever they're doing. He is the most pro-murderer candidate in America right now.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and the right-wing quack Dr. Oz is grasping at straws when it comes to his race against John Fetterman.
These are the kinds of cases when folks hear them and see them on television ads, they can't possibly vote for Fetterman. That's one of the reasons that the polls have closed so dramatically.
Oz referred to Fetterman as the most pro-murder candidate that there is in America right now. I'm not even going to waste my breath calling this guy a doctor, regardless of his degree, because he spent years on television being a professional snake oil salesman, and he plans to do just that if he wins a seat.
And we've got a governor's candidate whose policies are directly responsible for some of the atrocities we're seeing, the lawlessness. And I was in Philadelphia on Monday touring around an area called Kensington, where, you know, that's where Rocky was running around through the streets.
Yep.
Right? So Kensington was not a bad area. I went to graduate school in Philadelphia, and I lived in West Philly, so you could go down to Kensington. Now you can't. It is the largest open-air drug market in the country. Much of that, again, caused because you have open borders, which Fetterman wants, fentanyl pouring across. You have a environment where the police are not allowed to do their job. You encourage people who are addicted to drugs to live their lives there. So that you have swaths of the city now covered with people with needles hanging out of their bodies. And guess who can't go home? People own the properties there. Shop owners can't open up. There's no tax revenue. So it actually hurts the city, but it's a reflection of the weak policies of Democratic leaders in the city. And John Fetterman has been all in on these ideas. They do not work. And as a doctor, I'll tell you, I might have the best ideas on how to take care of you. If they don't work, you're going to switch doctors. Yeah. It's time for America to switch healers.
He's playing up every stereotype he can while also trying to be a man of the people. It's clear that he can't do that to save his own life, owning multiple mansions, going on lavish trips, calling veggie trays anything other than a vegetable tray.
Let's talk crudité, if we can. Is Dr. Oz relatable to the everyday, hardworking American there in Pennsylvania?
I joke about a crudité, which is a way of speaking about how ridiculous it is that you can't even put vegetables on a plate. In the middle of a campaign, we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure the people of Pennsylvania respect what we're about.
And I mean to fixate on it, but I just, for those watching in Pennsylvania, you know how particular many people are about their groceries. What happened with Wegmans and Wegner's? Can you explain that to them?
Yeah, I was exhausted. When you're campaigning 18 hours a day, listen, I've gotten my kids' names wrong as well.
He's really trying to sell himself to the people of Pennsylvania with hollow words and empty promises. Oh, he's also going to have the best ideas on how to take care of you. Now, who the hell does that sound like? Just another MAGA hack out there pretending to care about the lives of people he's never even thought twice about, unless he can get their money. Recently, he's been in the news dodging questions on the GOP's latest attack on reproductive rights, but he's playing the All Lives Matter card by being against prison reform, by siding with actual criminals. Give me a break. As a doctor, you would think his oath to the wellness of his patients may open up a bit of can of worms when he can't speak clearly on medical issues or the nuance of abortion. But here he is, rambling on about how he thinks addicts are just mindless monsters and showing his true colors in regards to people who need help. This is how he and the MAGA Republicans feel about everyday Americans. They say it with their whole chest, and y'all think they really have your best interests in mind. They think people with diseases like addiction are worthless. They use them as a talking point. They want to do nothing to improve the lives of the people that they want to represent. It's all a game to these crooks. They don't know anything about how hard it is to be a person struggling in America. They don't want to know. They are perfectly comfortable in their ignorance towards our suffering. He's simply another cog in the MAGA machine, a con artist salesman who uses red button issues to divide people and make us think about the other. Not as fellow Americans, not as people who need help, not as anything other than a disgusting tribal mindset that sets us further back with every word. And to top it off, of course it's on Newsmax, because why wouldn't it be? Can you actually get this guy to name some policies he actually wants to improve? Can he speak to disenfranchised groups in the state he's running in? Can he even empathize at all? Of course, the answer is no. He's fine being a mouthpiece for the Trump goon squad and echoing their pathetic lies and crying about anything but what actually helps Americans. Here's a tip, Oz. People are complicated. People are imperfect. People go through hard times and make questionable decisions. But at the end of the day, they deserve help and representation. And I've got a feeling you won't do anything of the sort if you claw your way to that seat. So here's to hoping that Dorothy pulls the curtain on this act and everyone sees through what a real trickster you are. The people of Pennsylvania deserve better, and that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.